First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
Blake Lively still manages to hold it down instinctively, despite all the controversies and speculations about the Hollywood star. This shows that there is a lot more to her. From love to moments of pain and unhinged moments, the actress does not seem distracted, but remains focused on her goals. This must have taken extra power. If you are not busy, join me and let's review the 10 most unhinged Blake Lively moments of all time. Blake's relationship with movie producer Jamie Heath turned sour indefinitely, shortly after she mentioned him in her lawsuit. This came as a surprise to everyone, because Jamie was not just her favorite producer on set, but the CEO of Wayfarer Studios, Justin's right-hand man, the one she had constantly drawn strength from in tough moments of her life. The whole issue with Blake and Jamie escalated from a particular scene on set when Blake solemnly called for Jamie and other executives to meet her in her trailer so they could make important decisions. At first, it was none of his ideas, but he paid no deaf ears to her humble plea. Upon arriving at the scheduled place, he discovered that Blake was not in a good position for a meeting, even though she had claimed to be, because she was breastfeeding her baby and simultaneously having her makeup removed from her collarbone. Trying to be the gentleman he had always been, he opted for a reschedule, but Blake, in discontent, insisted that the meeting should continue. Not long after that, Blake makes a false accusation against Jamie, stating that he made romantic eye contact when they met in the trailer. Jamie apologized, stating his stance in the matter, but little did he know he was in for almost an unending battle. This sparked several racism conversations, placing the alleged misconduct as a great offense. But was it all grounded in hinges? In case you're wondering why a young white girl would ever cast herself as a black girl just to stalk boys, then you have yet to witness more crazy stuff done by this actress. Blake once said most weirdly that she was a professional disguiser who was only concerned about stalking boys at the time. She asserted that she and her best friend were not passionate about anything else, but serious about stalking these guys for whatever reason. Since they had only one night to accomplish their important mission, they would dress in beautiful bronze and scary spiced robes, drive around town to their hidden archives, and stalk their major crushes. Oh wow. If this is not in any way portraying her racist nature, then I wonder what it is. Well, she is not stopping anytime soon, as she remains the center of attraction. You wouldn't know that consistently. Blake Lively plays the most significant role of her life by being a gossip girl. Because, behind the cameras and glaring lights, she has always portrayed the lifestyle of a saint. With several facts and rumors about this intent, you do not want to step into the bad books about this actress. Why? The day you step on her nerves, you are finished. Many didn't know her to be this way until a hidden scene played out during the Gossip Girl tour. It was shocking to find out that she had made a nasty and horrific statement about her former co-star, Leighton Meester. To buttress her point, she pointed at her vividly, even though she was beside her. If this is not absurd, I don't know what is. It has almost become a lifestyle for Blake to make debasing comments about her co-stars. Perfect examples were when she called them monkeys during a press tour, and when she cunningly noted that Leighton had started her life from the cage because her parents were behind bars on the day of her delivery.
I was a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them.
She is not remorseful for her actions, and that's why we see more ridiculous events coming from her daily. No one could understand why Blake Lively liked answering interview questions like she did. This further proves that almost every interview she does is unhinged. Should you think it isn't true, look at how her co-stars stare at her every time she makes a statement that seems abnormal. They will never believe anything that comes out of the mouth of It Ends with Us Lily Bloom. You can see in the following interviews that it was not an exaggeration, but a fact devoid of lies. It is even more disheartening to see that Blake has been on the lips of media houses and several critics for the obvious wrong reasons because of her untimely, unnecessary jokes. She will always act out drama in her interviews. If you didn't know, she perfectly follows a script. Does this mean this is the last time we see this uncanny behavior from Blake Lively? Certainly not. Who outrightly disrespects their producers with no remorse and feels like everything is normal? Blake Lively tops the list. It wasn't difficult for everyone to know that the highly celebrated actress seemed far from the things she had constantly advocated for. This situation was highlighted when Blake Lively chose not to read the book essential to the film adaptation. In the acting world, it is common for performers to take extreme measures to prepare for a role. Many actors go above and beyond, immersing themselves in research to fully understand the characters they will portray. They often seek out documentaries, engage with relevant materials, and bury themselves in literature that sheds light on their roles. In stark contrast, Lively's decision to forego reading the primary source material speaks volumes about her approach to her craft. It raises questions not just about her dedication, but also about her respect for the original story and its creators. Some might view this as a carefree attitude, but others see it as a troubling disregard for the foundation of the project she is part of. Such an attitude can be interpreted as disrespectful to the author and the audience who connect deeply with the narrative. Her stance, whether intentional or not, casts a shadow on her commitment to the art of acting. It suggests a sense of entitlement, as if the role and the film's success should come without thorough preparation. This perception risks labeling her as unappreciative, as she overlooks the hard work of adapting a beloved story and the significance of honoring that source. This instance illustrates a personal choice and a deeper commentary on professional responsibility in the entertainment industry. She probably would have stepped back if she wasn't happy with the whole process, rather than show how unprofessional she was. What will be the fate of upcoming actors looking up to her? Blake continues to drive everyone nuts with the way she addresses things, further proving her deep state of weirdness. No one could understand how she could make a drastic decision quickly. In 2017, Blake joined hundreds of women, including Angelina Jolie, who lent their voices to the many shortcomings on set. She came out publicly and began to speak about how a makeup artist was consistently harassing her on set for reasons best known to him. Although she didn't give in-depth details about the incident, she said, "He was saying things inappropriately, insisting on putting my lipstick on with his finger. I was sleeping one night on location, and I woke up, and he was filming me. I was clothed, but it was a very voyeuristic, terrifying thing to do." In light of the incident, she reported the makeup artist's nefarious actions to producers, but it seems everything fell on deaf ears. Without further ado, Blake filed a case against the makeup artist and, in a nutshell, got him fired. While this act is highly commendable, it sparked several controversies, even with Justin, who opposed the idea that there is a clear sight for every judgment. You don't judge from one person's assumption. Is it not clear that Blake always acts a little bit abstract? What I'm about to say sounds scary, but did you know Blake Lively once offended her close friend by being mute about a heightened level of cheating and lying, even though she was aware of the truth? This was a planned cover-up. Why would she do that? No one knew until the ex-wife of Hugh Jackman, Deborah Lee Furness, came out publicly to accuse her. For a long time, it was concealed and swept under the carpet. She asserted that Blake was one heck of a best friend in front of her. However, she cunningly did the opposite, even though she knew the genesis of the matter that led to the divorce of her and her ex-husband, Hugh. Deborah and her husband, Hugh, were married for 27 years before their unfortunate divorce in 2023. There was a mutual relationship between Hugh and Blake's husband, Ryan Reynolds. That was how Blake and Deborah became best friends before the ugly incident severed their bond. Clearly, the actress's family knew about it from the onset, but chose to cover it up. How painful could this be? This was not the first time Blake had made derogatory comments, but asking Justin to go for nose surgery when he had asked for her permission before he lifted her was rude and insane. Blake strongly suggested that Justin needed a plastic refurbishment for his nose. Though Blake didn't include this in her paperwork, Justin kept her afloat because she wasn't aware that he was 100% ready to bring valid proof of her gross misconduct. Though Justin had every proof needed to nail her, he felt it was unnecessary and decided to proceed with the scene. Blake is a good pretender, but what next was she capable of? What an unhinged moment it was for Blake to strike Justin with an unverified lawsuit so that she could strip him of the dignity left with him. This wasn't the most annoying part of the story, but the fact that she did it when he was going through many challenges reveals what is locked up in her heart. Blake filed the lawsuit when California faced one of history's greatest wildfires, during which the actor was seen to have evacuated some of his properties and relations that were dear to him. At this point, Blake tyrannically chose to serve him the papers. What a wicked and inhumane act from a former co-star. From the look of things, Blake's unhinged moments are not stopping anytime soon, but continue to grow weirder and weirder by the day. Why she couldn't get used to the compliment about crow straighteners was a concern for her fans and even critics for many days. She didn't stop talking about it. Even in interviews, she constantly referred to that phrase. This is the best compliment I have ever been given. Was it because she was perfect for that compliment? I can't tell, but reports say it was because she was fond of addressing and adjusting people's appearances, mainly in public. So when she received one of the nicest compliments, she couldn't help but let her emotions fly to the rooftop. If Blake were a book, studying her would take a decade. Which of these unhinged moments do you dislike the most, and what will be your first reaction if you meet her in public? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to our channel. Before you go, click on the video displayed on your screen.